Hiya, so I just want to cover this very quickly. News today, Milton, Glaser. It's very significant because of the Heart and New York connection, which I'll get to in a minute. To do with Valentine's Day and 9/11. Some people probably remember what I'm talking about there. 91 years old, okay? It's obviously 19 backwards. COVID-19. 91 is also the 13th triangular, so it's a time ritual as always. 13 being the master of time. That's the properties of 91. Master of time in triangular form. Notice as well that it's 7 times the master of time to get to it. 7 times 13. 7. Huge number. Which I've done 2 videos on, which will be uploaded in the coming week. In links to 7/7, the July 7th date coming up. 7 has massive links to the time that's passed since 9/11, which I will show in those 2 videos extensively. 7 coming up is July. 7 times the master of time, excuse me, gets you 91. It's also the master of time triangular anyway, 13. So that's his age, 91. COVID-19 in reverse. Just want to draw attention to that as well. When it was made, that logo, 77. Again, I've done videos on 7/7, which you will see in the next few days, because July 7th has massive significance for the time that's passed since the events of 9/11 in New York, 2001. 77, he designed it. Gematria, sorry, or Gematria if you want to be posh. I heart New York, so heart for the symbol. In keypad form, cipher 43, that's how many years ago 1977 is. 43 years ago, yeah. 43 significance as well, because it's the 14th prime. Again, 7 plus 7. The logo was designed in 77. See how that works? 14th prime, for how many years ago the logo was designed. 14 is 7 plus 7, which is 1977. 77. (1977), 43 years ago. I heart New York in keypad cipher is 43. (43 is 7 plus 7. For its prime, 14th. Keeping on that 14. 7 plus 7. 41 backwards. Extended for I heart New York is 1063. That's the 179th prime, yeah. 179 itself is the 41st prime. So that's your 14 backwards for the 7/7 again. It's also master of time prime, that is 41 13th. One 179 41st prime, 179th prime. It's 1063. That's what I Heart New York is in the extended cipher. So carrying on with the news story, I'll leave the link to this if you want to have a look. It goes on to give a bit of its history, specifically that year there, 1954. He set up the studio. 1954. 54 in reverse is 45. The Baconis cipher for I Heart New York is the 45th prime, 197. 45th prime. That's for I Heart New York in the Baconis cipher. 45th day has a big link to heart. Because it's Valentine's Day, of course. 45th day. Trump being the 45th presidency at the moment as well. Valentine's Day links to 9/11 and New York and the events of 2001. As I showed here back in 2018, a few weeks before it actually happened in Valentine's Day of that year. It was 6,000 days since the events of 9/11 in 2001, which when you times 24, it's 144,000 hours. And that was the big ritual for the shooting in the Florida high school on Valentine's Day, which I'm sure most will remember. There's your reminder. It's exactly 6,000 days. That's why they had the shooting ritual in the high school. 144,000. Heart connection. Heart, New York. 45th day. Valentine's. Hearts. Valentine's. Hearts. Events of 9/11 in New York. 144,000. Valentine's Day was 144,000 hours after the events of 9/11 in New York. 2018. The I Heart New York in the Baconis, we've just showed, is the 45th prime. 45th day of the year is Valentine's Day, 14th of February. I Heart New York in the reverse ordinal is an obvious 9/11 upside down. It's quite clear to see that. No coincidences, is there? This is where it gets interesting. Reverse reduction. This is where you use an exception for the H there, because it's 10. It's reduced backwards, but with 10 for the H part. It comes to 53 then, yeah? This one there. For I Heart New York. That's your 16th prime. Turn that one upside down, you get 91. See how that works? 91 upside down is the 16th. prime 53. That was in that cipher. 16th prime, 16 upside down is 91. That's how old he was again, remember? That's that one. Right, moving on then to the I Heart New York in this version in reverse. So it's another exception rule. H stays as 10, but the E also 22. See that down there? That equals 71. That gets you the 20th prime. What happens when you add those two together? You get 91 again. That plus its prime equals that, 91. "91 years old." That was that cipher there. All we did was add the prime of it together and got 91. Right, I Heart New York in Jewish ordinal, 94, okay? Backwards, of course, that's 49. Back to that 7 again, times 7 for that one. That also has other connections. Let me just show you that. This is on history.com, linking the 9/11 for New York there. First plane ripped a hole in North Tower from the 94th floor. That's where it all started from, 94th floor to the 98th. I Heart New York in the Jewish is 94. First floor of when the first plane hit started on the 94th floor. While we're on the subject of the floors of the Twin Towers, I Heart New York reduced is 46. So again, going back to history.com, difference between those two floors is 4. Difference between those two floors is 6. There's your 46. I Heart New York. I've already showed how that's the 94th floor when it first started. In the Jewish cipher then, for I Heart New York, 643. Remember, Trump referred to 9/11 as 7/11. That's that backwards. Also 1 hour 17 minutes. That's 77 minutes, isn't it? Again, going back to that 7/7 significant date coming up, July 7th. Remember, it was 1977 when the logo was designed. 1977. 1 hour 17 minutes is 77 minutes. That was for the 643. And that's what I Heart New York in Jewish is, 643. 117th prime. The Kabbalah one in ALW is quite obvious as well, because as of September 11th, linking into New York again, September 11th, 8 months and 11 days have passed of the year, yeah? 11 days, 8 months of the year have passed already, as of 11th of September. So I Heart New York then as well in the primes now. Let's look at that one. 327. Well, this one's prime factorisation time. 3 times 109. So first of all we need to break down 3. That's the second prime. 2 is the first, okay? So we're down to the first prime, all the way down to the very first prime on the 3. The 109 then, that's also prime, that's the 29th. 29 is also a prime, so that breaks down to the 10th, okay? So we had 1, now we've got the 10th. It doesn't get any lower down than 10 now. 1 plus 10 is 11, of course, so that's the towers there. Also, the Twin Towers floors equaled 110. 110 stories of floors. As shown here with 10 for that part for 29th. Which was the 109, 29th prime. 109 came from the factorisation of that 327, which is the primes itself in I Heart New York. The prime cipher, prime factorisation breaks down to the floors, like all the floors broke down and crumbled. Breaks down to the first prime and the 10th. 110 floors. I know that one was a bit complex, but that's what this is all about. Breaking things down. Prime cipher. Seems a while ago now, but at the beginning of the video I already said about 43. That was the 43, 14th prime, 77, etc. 43 years ago was 77. 1977. 7 plus 7. 77 was when the logo itself was designed. Cheers.